Alright, well, eBay just decided to give up completely.
Won't nobody love you the way they should. Won't nobody check up on you, make sure you're good. Won't nobody check those body tremors for your neck.
Hi everyone, my name is Becky Park. I'm a part-time reseller on a variety of reselling platforms. And in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you everything that sold for me in the week of June 20th through the 26th. I was still on vacation at this time in Hawaii with my family, and it was like the end of our vacation. So there's a couple days in here, like the last 2 days, I was actually back home, but we were still recovering from, having traveled and done all the things, and so I wasn't doing too much. And this is also very notably the week that eBay just died. Like, if you've been watching my What Sold videos from the summer, you know that eBay actually has been doing really well for me. And by doing really well, I mean doing better than Poshmark, which is not that hard to do at this time. Poshmark has really been on the struggle bus, but eBay at that time was really stepping it up and making sure that I was still at least making some sort of profit during the summer months, and I was very thankful to eBay for that. However, this was the week that eBay was like, you know what? I'm done. I'm done trying to keep it all together and pull the weight. I'm done. I'm just going to roll over and die. And that's exactly what it did. So we'll talk about what that looked like as we go through my week of sales. So we'll talk about that as we talk about my week of sales. So starting right with Monday, which was June 20th, I actually started off the week with a really great eBay sale. And I was like, yes, this is what we're trying to do here. Like, eBay is really going to knock it out of the park this week. This is a great start to the week. And then it just slowly went very, very downhill. So the first thing to sell was this Dress to Kill blue striped tie-dye tunic in a one size fits most. I hate when people do that with sizing. It's very lazy sizing, but it's because this brand Dress to Kill is a very oversized, login look, just like layered and drapey type of brand. It is definitely a brand that is not super well known. It's not sold at a lot of stores. They do have a website, but I think they also do like trunk shows and stuff like that. And it's a brand that I found out about at a local pop-up consignment sale that happens in my town twice a year. Like 2 times ago that I went, I found it for the first time and purchased maybe 5 or 6 pieces, and every single piece sold for at least $90 to $100, I would say, with some of them selling for even $150. This particular piece, I believe I listed at $125. I think I got a $100 offer on it, so I went ahead and accepted. It did sell via promoted listings as well, and it is something that I purchased on the half off day of the pop-up consignment sale, and so I had $11.18 into it, so my net profit on that piece was $72.93. So like I said, great way to start off the week. I was pumped. We were on the last few days of our trip in Hawaii, and I was like, let's go. This is awesome. The next thing to sell over on Mercari was this pair of Keen brown hiking sandals in an infant size 6. These sold for $19, and I believe my kids wore these when they were younger. And so my net profit on that was $16.25 because I don't really have any cost of goods. It was something that my kids used. On Tuesday, which was June 21st, I had a Poshmark sale, and it was by the brand Call Your Mother. And it was, it said like good vibes across the chest. It had like gray tie-dye as well as a tropical print, and it was a t-shirt in a size large. This item sold for $20 on Poshmark, which I was pretty happy with. I had $3.50 into it from a local thrift store, and so I made a profit of $12.50 on that. That was actually something that I was planning on selling on Whatnot if it didn't sell by the time I came back from Hawaii, but then it sold in the last few days of me being on my trip. On Wednesday, which was June 22nd, I had a Poshmark sale, and it was this Banana Republic blue non-iron Camden button-up shirt in a size medium for men. This sold for $15. I had $12 into it, and I had this item for so long. I've had this item for like 2 to 3 years, and it's something that I believe someone at church gave to me for free. So again, $12 of pure profit. Now, I did have an eBay sale on this day, but it got returned to me. So we're not even going to talk about it because I can't include it in my numbers. And there is one more eBay return coming up because if you sell on eBay, you know that eBay returns happen in multiples. You never just get one. You always get like 2 or 3 at a time, and that's exactly what happened to me. So moving on to Thursday, which was June 23rd, on Poshmark, I sold this Polo Ralph Lauren turquoise short sleeve polo shirt in a size large. It was flawed. It did have some tiny like pinholes in the back, but it still sold for $21, and that was with discounted shipping because of a Chrome extension that I use called Poshmark VA. Poshmark VA is basically my like Poshmark butler. Like it just does all the things on Poshmark for me that I don't want to do myself. It does things like share my closet. It sends out offers to likers after an item has been liked. It can even like return people's shares and follows if you wanted to. It does a lot of things that I don't want to do. I don't want to sit behind my computer and do those things. And like I said, this item is a result of me using Poshmark VA because Poshmark VA is the one who sent out an offer to likers on this item 5 minutes after it got an offer, and therefore I made the sale. If you want to try out Poshmark VA yourself because you also don't want to do those things and would rather pay someone else to do it, then I do have a coupon code that will save you 20% off of your first payment of Poshmark VA, and that code is just Becky Park. So definitely try it out. But I had $8.17 into this item. I don't know why I had that much into it. I want to say that was my average cost of goods for a particular trip to a local consignment store. And I want to say that I actually paid a lot less for this, but it's from a while ago, so I don't remember. But I'm like so confident that I would never have paid a literal $8 for this sort of item. This must have been definitely something on the lower end. Regardless, because we're going off of average cost of goods, my net profit on this item was only $6.91. The next thing to sell was a bundle of 2 items, and actually the first item within that bundle was a lot of 2 American Eagle graphic print tank tops in a size extra small. These were things that I got for free from a friend. I never pick up American Eagle tops. Never. Even though they have some really cute things, I made the mistake of picking up some of those cute things in the past. I have picked up American Eagle sweaters, I have picked up their dresses, I have picked up shirts and whatever, and none of it sells, or if it does, it, eventually will sell for like $8 or something like that. And so because I got these for free, I went ahead and lotted them together because they were in the same size, and I still had them priced really low. And the next item was from the same friend. It was a Target dress by the brand Exhilaration, and it was this blue floral sleeveless smock dress in a size extra small. Both items are just items with a very low resale value, but I was able to sell those 3 pieces for $20, and I made a profit of $16 because I didn't have any cost of goods into those. The next item to sell was by the brand Susina, which is a Nordstrom rack brand. This item was new with tags, and it was striped. It had like ruffle sleeves, and it was just a pretty basic top in a size extra small. This one sold for $11. I had $1.72 into that from, I really can't remember where. I don't know where I got that, but I made a profit of $6.33. The next item to sell was this pair of Columbia white 100% cotton Bermuda shorts in a size 20W. These I picked up at a local consignment store because they were having a clearance sale and everything was $2. So I sold them for $13 and I made a profit of $8.05. Columbia is another one of those brands that it just doesn't resale for a ton. I will pick it up for really cheap, but I know that it's very rarely going to sell for more than like $20, $25. And it's also a pretty saturated brand online. So I was happy to make my $8.05 of profit. I wasn't very surprised. I knew that going in. The next thing to sell was this Zara collection pink long sleeve batwing textured v-neck top in a size large. This is one of those items that I had go live while I was on vacation, but technically I listed it beforehand. That way I had listings going live, while I was on my trip. And so it sold within a handful of days, which I was kind of surprised by because I didn't find this very cute. But it sold for $15. I did have discounted shipping on it, and it was an item that I purchased as part of a wholesale pallet. And so my average cost of goods for each of those items was $3.92. So I made a profit of $6.36 on that. Zara pieces can do really well, but they don't all do well. And like I said, this piece, in my opinion, I just was not crazy about it, but I'm glad that it sold. And then on Friday, which was June 24th, I had some more really great Poshmark sales. The first one being this new with tags J. McLaughlin Marie cardigan. It was white and it had like fringe. It was an open sweater, cardigan, whatever you want to call it, in a size small. This sold for $56 with discounted shipping. I had $3.92 into it because that was also part of the wholesale palette. Definitely one of the better pieces. And so I made a profit of $39.16. I love selling this brand so much. It does so well and it retails for so much. And it's one of those brands that people who love it, but they don't love the retail price on it. So they're always looking for it on reselling platforms. The next thing to sell was this pair of Cole Haan Grand OS black leather mid-heel slip-on pumps in a size 5.5B, which is kind of a smaller size, which might be part of the reason why I've had these in my closet for a while. But they finally sold for $30 with discounted shipping. Thank you, Posher VA. I had $5 into them, so I made a profit of $17.28. I know that the resale value of Cole Haan has drastically gone down throughout the years, but if it's something that I can pick up for a reasonable price, I will definitely still pick it up. I just no longer pay up for it. The next thing to sell was this Simply black and white graphic v-neck tunic blouse in a size small. This sold for $28. I had $3 into it from a local thrift store that actually doesn't even exist anymore because I purchased this item like 4 or 5 years ago to resell, and that's about how long it took for me to sell it. It took forever. Countless relistings. This blouse, I believe I sent to ThreadUp and it didn't sell there. It came back. I mean, it's gone on quite the journey. It has lived a long, full life, and now it's going to live somewhere other than my home. And I made a profit of $19.40 on this top, but I don't know that I'm going to pick up that brand ever again after this experience. The next thing to sell was, okay, someone literally just, I think it's like I don't know how to, people have described or explained to me how to say this brand. Jou, I want to say Jou now. I don't know. But Jou navy and white striped 3/4 sleeve shirt in a size 10. This sold for $18. I had $3 into it, so I made a profit of $11.40. This brand makes very classic, very preppy, great classic pieces for women and for kids. So it's a great brand and the resale value is decent. It's not like amazing, but it's there. The next thing to sell was this pair of Selby, which I think is another British brand. That Jou brand is also an English brand, but the Selby pair of shoes that I sold, they were this ivory slip-on pair of loafers in a size 7.5B. They sold for $18. I've had them for over 2 years because I picked them up at a local consignment store when I was shopping in bulk by myself in their storage unit, and my average cost of goods for shoes was $1.80. And so I made a profit of $12.60 on those shoes after like 2 years. I think Selby can be an okay brand, but this particular pair of loafers, they were just outdated and old-fashioned, and I'm not surprised that I held on to them for as long as I did. I just wanted to try them out because I knew I was going to be getting them for so little. The next thing to sell was this pair of Gap for Good waist-tie belted khaki trousers in a size 12. I wasn't really expecting much of these. I was not expecting them to sell quickly, but they actually sold within 2 weeks of being listed. They were listed, I believe, while I was on vacation in Hawaii. They sold for $15. I had $1.02 into them because they were part of a reseller buyout that I did quite a few months ago at this point. I bought out a reseller's entire inventory because she was done reselling, so I made a profit of $10.98 on those. Gap is one of those brands I have found that, especially if the style is current, like it'll resell, it just won't resell for a 10. On Saturday, which was June 25th, I had another pretty great sale on Poshmark. It was this pair of new without tags H by Hudson black leather Angus brogue wingtip lace-up boots in a size 44. These sold for $75. I had $3.79 into them from a men's rescue box, from a men's ThreadUp rescue box that I did not too long ago, and I made a profit of $56.21. So there's Hudson, which is worth a lot, and then there's H by Hudson, which is kind of like its diffusion line. It's definitely worth a little bit less, but man, I was still able to do really well on these. Again, I think because of the fact that they were new without tags and because they were just a great style. I did have another eBay sale this day, but this was my second return of the week because that's how eBay returns work. So we're not even going to talk about it because I'm still angry about it to this day. On Sunday, which was June 26th, on Poshmark, I sold this Rough Rider by Circle T Southwestern Tapestry woven vest in a size medium. This is the kind of thing that I would never pick up myself at a Goodwill, but it was a part of that reseller inventory lot that I purchased when I bought out her inventory. So I only had $1.02 into it. I looked it up and comps were actually somewhat decent. I think I had it listed for $25, got an offer of $18, happily accepted because, again, I had no faith that this thing would sell anyway, and I made a profit of $13.88. The next thing to sell was this pair of new with tags, Madewell Cali Demi Bootcut jeans in white. They sold for $40. I got them in a wholesale pallet from a reseller, so I had $3.92 into them because that was my average cost of goods, and so I made a profit of $28.08. I love selling the Cali Demi boot style from Madewell. I sell them at least for like $40, $50-ish dollars. These, I believe, did have some small spots on them. It's almost inevitable when you pick up stuff that's white, even though they were new with tags. And I just feel like white denim in general can be kind of a hard sell because of the fact that, the rules state that you can only wear them for, certain months of the year. I mean, who cares what those rules are? But a lot of people do adhere to them, and therefore they just don't have as much of a shelf life as some other colors. Regardless, I, was able to sell them for $40 and make a good profit on them. The Cali Demi bootcut style from Madewell always does so well for me. The next thing to sell was this new era genuine merchandise MLB Chicago Cubs t-shirt in a youth size 10-12. This sold for $8, which I was happy with because it was something that was in my daughter's closet. I don't think she actually ever wore it because this is her size, or it's actually too big for her, but she was like, I'm not ever going to wear this. And I was like, fine, then take pictures of it and I'll list it. And so she made a profit of $5.05. However, today is July 18th, and I got a notification today saying that this thing is still like on its way to its buyer. I don't know what's happening. I don't know what happened to this in post, but it's having some struggles getting to its final destination. The next sale was this pair of Vionic Agile Hydra Purple athletic shoes in a size 10. These I had $9.99 into because Vionic is a really great brand. However, this particular pair of shoes I have held on to for at least half a year. Like, they definitely have been with me for much longer than I thought they would be, and they finally sold for $32. I think I had them listed for like $40 or $50, but when I got the $32 offer, I was like, okay, fine. So I made a profit of $15.61 on those. Vionic, I think, is still a great brand to continue picking up, but I don't know what it was about these. The last sale that we'll talk about was the second eBay sale of the week. And as of today, there's no return request on it or anything, but there's still time, so who knows. But it was this 24/7 Maurice's black floral V-neck tunic top in a size 2X. People say they have really good luck selling Maurice's, and so when I saw this at a local consignment store on clearance for $1, I was like, I'll just try it out. Like, what do I have to lose at $1? That's even better than Bin's pricing. So I, purchased it, brought it home, and it sold for $15.99, and it sold within a reasonable amount of time, and it had good interest. Like, it was getting likes on all of the different platforms, but it finally sold for my full asking price of $15.99 on eBay. It was promoted at 3%, and I made a profit of $13.30. So from here on out, if I find Maurice's and it's priced really low and it's in a trendy, current style, it's definitely something that I will consider picking up and not be so snobbish about and leaving behind. So those were my sales for the week. Poshmark actually kicked some booty. Like, I sold 19 items on Poshmark, which was amazing given how slow Poshmark has been. And I did have a few higher price sales because of the fact that before I went to Hawaii, I sent about 20 items in a box to a company called eBliss. They were higher priced items because I wanted eBliss to hold onto them for me and ship them out for me when they sold. And the reason why I shipped out the box to eBliss before I left for Hawaii was in hopes that when they received the box, they would push those items live, and I would just get a bunch of random sales from this box because they pushed, 20 items live in one day while I was in Hawaii. And that's exactly what happened. During my time in Hawaii, I was able to sell, shoes or boots for like $75 or a cardigan for $56, a top for $100, and those were all pieces that I sent into eBliss right before I left for Hawaii in hopes that those listings would help me keep my momentum while on vacation. And so I sold 19 items on Poshmark for a gross sales amount of $450. Once you factor in Poshmark's fees and discounted shipping, that total drops to $351.35. I did have $55.77 as my cost of goods for those 19 items, and so my net profit on Poshmark was $295.58. On eBay, I sold 2 items. I actually sold 4, but then, like I said, 2 of those items got returned to me, so we're not even going to count them. So for those 2 items, my gross sales amount was $115.99. Once you factor in eBay's fees, that total drops to $98.41. My cost of goods for those items was $12.18, and so my net profit was $86.23. On Mercari, I had 1 sale, and it was for $19 as my gross sales amount, $16.25 once you factor in Mercari's fees. The item was something that my kids used, so no cost of goods, and so my net profit on Mercari was $16.25. I only sold items on those 3 platforms, which makes sense because I was not actively listing anywhere else, given that the other platforms don't have ways to schedule listings out. And so I only sold on those 3 platforms, and I sold a total of 22 items. My gross sales amount from those 3 platforms was $587.99. Once you factor in shipping and fees, that total drops to $466.01. My cost of goods for those 24 items was $67.95, and so my net profit was $398.06, which is not amazing. It's less than half than what I'm trying to earn in a week in order to make my goal of earning $40,000 in net profit this year from reselling. But it is good given the fact that this is money I made while I was on vacation. I will take it and not complain about, selling things while I was at the beach and, hiking and doing other amazing things with my family. We really did have such a great time, and I really am indebted to my friends who helped make, these sales possible, to my sister-in-law who came to my house and shipped for me while I was gone, to someone who was listing a little bit for me here and there. It's because of people like them and because of the work that I put ahead of time into my reselling business before leaving on vacation that I was able to have the sales that I did, even if they were less than, what I would like. So that is everything for today's video. If you enjoyed it, please consider hitting that like button because it does actually help out this video and my channel. And if you are brand new to my channel and just checking me out for the very first time, first of all, thank you so much. And I do hope you consider hitting that subscribe button so that you are alerted every time I upload new content. So thank you so much, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!